Okay, we'll start with the disclaimer. What I'm about to show you is for demonstration purposes only. Do not run your robot in live mode if the program makes it move. Okay, with that in mind, let's go. Okay, we're talking about operators, and the operators do some sort. A lot of them do math. Some of them do. They do functions, which a function is something that returns a value. Now, the ones we use most and often will be greater than, less than, or equal. You'll use that with your sensor to determine whether or not you're about to run into something. And others that you may use will be the arithmetic and maybe the Boolean. Boolean is illogical. A Boolean variable is either true or false. Now, for the demonstration of this, actually, I don't need to use control structures just yet. Let's see if I can do it without it. Okay, here we go. Alright, I have changed from upload to live mode. I'm doing the green flag. Okay, we got our temp variable. And I've already kind of got what I'm going to do. Listen to me, I'll do this. I'm going to set it to 0. Okay, you see temp is 0. Now I'll use the operator, and I'll set it to 2 plus 2. Count on your fingers if you need to, but you should be able to figure that up. Let's see if it works. And sure enough, it says 4. Okay, that was fun. Let's say 2 minus 4. Minus 2 as you would expect. Okay, this asterisk, oops, I just got rid of that. Let me go back. Okay, if I want to set my variable, I go back here. It gives me some choices I don't want to mess with. Alright, where were we at? We're at operators. Okay, this is actually the multiplication. So 4 times 5. Run that, it's 20. Okay. Now, the random number is fun. Pick a random number 1 to 10. Let's run it. It's 5, 10, 1. Bounces all over the place. Okay, here's another fun one. Set temp to join banana and apple. Let's see what happens. You got a banana apple. I don't even want to know what that looks like. Okay, first letter of apple. Sure enough, it's A. Okay, now you see that I'm doing all the round-sided. The round-sided ones do some sort of calculation. The ones with the little points on it basically determine whether something's true or false. And I'm going to have to wait to do the control structure so we're able to see what's going on with those. Anyway, that'll be the next demonstration. Okay, next we have the sensors. And the sensors we have the onboard button, and you have when the onboard button is pressed, and that is right here. You also have the infrared sensor which senses the controller. You have the ultrasonic sensor, which is actually what looks like its eyes, and it's kind of like a bat. It sees with its ears. Then you have an infrared correction. You have a light sensor on the bottom that can sense colors. And you also have a timer. And I will now demonstrate these. Okay, the light sensor, the ultrasonic sensor, line follower sensor. We'll have a week apiece on the ultrasonic sensor and the line follower sensor, so I'm not going to get into those. Now, when the onboard button is pressed, how you use that is this. Let's go into upload mode. And I want to do a wait action. This is a control. Wait until. Okay. Onboard button is pressed. Then I want it to show color red for, let's make it for 3 seconds. Okay. And I will upload the code. Code has been uploaded. Okay, and you notice nothing happened right off the bat. It's waiting for me to do this. And just as soon as I did that, you notice that it turned red. Okay, I'll run it again. We'll cut the robot off, back on. It's not turning red. It doesn't return red until I push this button. That could give you a way to start the robot. That's not the easiest way to start. I'll show you what's a better way really quick. Okay, instead of waiting until onboard button is pressed, let's wait until our remote A, and you can do whichever letter you want to. I do A because it's right up here, it's right in the corner. Okay, upload the code. Okay, the code's been uploaded. You notice nothing happens. I press A, and it turns on. Okay, shut it off. Shut it back on. Onboard button doesn't do anything. Button C doesn't do anything, but button A lights it up. Okay, well, let me go back, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, that was the demonstration button. That was the onboard button, and that was the IR. Oh, let me demonstrate the timer. Okay, I'm going to do that live because we will be watching it happen in live time, and we're not moving the robot, so live is okay. Okay, and I'm going to show the timer. Okay, let me do this over again so you see what I'm doing. I'm switching over to the sprite so I can show them the timer. Okay. Okay, you notice that the timer is going. Reset it back to 0. And you use this if you want to take how long it takes to do certain action. In programming, they will do this a lot of time because they have what they call algorithms, which are ways of programming to get the computer to do things, and some things are faster than others, and there's actually a whole art and science to that, and there's a course called algorithms that computer scientists take so they'll know what to do. Okay, make sure I got everything. No, I don't need to say that. Okay, so we got the onboard sudden infrared, okay, the ultrasonic sensor and the line follow sensor. You're going to have a week on each of those, so I'm not going to get into those right now. And now we can tackle almost the last part of this. We're almost done. The complex control structures require operators, so there's a little more to them. Now, we've already talked about, when we talked about the wait until, and you have that here, and we use that, if you recall, we use that to put something in there to wait until the the remote was pressed, and that will turn out to be pretty useful. Now, the next one, hang on a minute, the next one, there we go, is a repeat until, also known as a do until. And what happens, you use that when you want to keep on doing until something happens. And here is an example. This is King Nebuchadnezzar. He did not give God the glory, so he was driven out. and basically lived in the woods until he knew that the Most High God rules the kingdom of the earth. Okay, and I've got kind of a translation to mBlock, not really to Python. There's not really anything in any of those languages for this. Okay, kind of a quick example. Let's see. We're going to get rid of this. Okay, we're going to switch to upload mode because we want to run this as a program. And I may have it move, I may not, I don't know yet. Let's see. Okay, events, we start off properly when mBot starts up. And let's see. We want to wait until, we want to repeat until. And let's have it flash the light. And just so we can tell that it flashed the light, let's put another control in there. Has it wait for 0.25 seconds. Okay, and we want to repeat until, I like to do my remote, and just for variety, I'm going to use select B. Okay, and okay, the panda is broken-hearted. Let's see, I'm on. Okay, connect. Okay, upload code. And the red should start flashing immediately once it gets done. We'll see what happens. Okay, it made me nervous there. I thought it was going to bomb out on me, but it did that just to see if I was paying attention. Okay, keep going, keep going. Come on, you can do it. Okay, we got a red flashing light. Okay, then I push the button and it stops. Okay, to restart it, I had to restart the program. That's an example of a repeat until. Okay, let's pop on back over to our... Okay, what do we have next? Next we have an if-then statement. No. Oh, yeah. We call it an if or an if-then statement. Depends on what language you're in. Alice and mBlock doesn't use an if-then statement. Let's see. So Python doesn't either. Some of them say, yes, okay, you notice you have an if-then here. You do not have a then here. You do not have a then here. And this is from the Bible. This is when Cain said that somebody's going to kill him. The Lord said, no, if they don't, I will take vengeance on him sevenfold. Now, if nobody does, nothing bad happens to anybody. They just keep on going. Okay, let's see if I can demonstrate that. Okay. Let's just start fresh. Okay, I'm going to deliberately do this. This isn't going to work, but I'm going to do this because this is a common problem. Okay, and I'm going to go back to IR remote A pressed. It shows color red for 1 second. Okay, I'm going to upload the code. Okay, it looks like I'm all ready. Well, I press my remote, and nothing happens. Well, nothing happens because just as soon as the robot started up, it ran the program and it ran it so fast that it doesn't really have time to react. So what we have to do is we want it to sit there and wait for, listen for this event, and to do that we have to use the listening feature. This is the do forever loop. What happens is it'll run this until it gets shut off. Alright, let's upload this code. Okay, let's see if it does it better this time. Okay, and it doesn't. What happens is this is just constantly running through this list. So did you press the button? Did you press the button? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Did you press the button? Did you press the button? It's doing it very, very fast, so it looks like it's almost instantaneous. Okay, so this is a bonus. This was an if, and this was also how to fit in a forever loop and when you would use one as an event listener. Okay, let's pop on back to the next one. Okay, the final one's an if then else. Now what happens there is it turned red if I pressed a button. It wouldn't do anything if I didn't. Now if then else is that if this happens, otherwise this happens. And Abraham and Lot had that because Abraham said, separate yourself from me. If you take the left hand, I'll go to the right. If you take the right hand, I'll go to the left. That is an if then else statement. So let's see how to implement that. Okay, we have our if statement, and you know, it's a decent if statement, so I'm going to modify it. You do that as a programmer. I'm going to copy my code and modify it. That's another thing you do as a programmer. Let's go green. Okay, so what happens is if the remote's pressed, something is supposed to happen. Then you say, well, how do I know that it's just not carrying over? And that's a good question. So what I'll do is I'll add another show. Okay, and what this should do is it should show red if I, each time it checks, it should show red if check and green if I don't. Wait a minute, this isn't, I don't need this. And sit there and think about it in a minute, see what you expect to happen. We'll see if it matches up. I may have to modify this code. We'll see. And it's working, it's working. Come on, you can do it. And here we go. It says green. And notice it's staying green most of the time because most of the time it's coming around and I have not pressed the button, so it would stay green unless otherwise. Okay, and what we've covered is we've covered the basic control structures. Now you will have much more practice on this. This is intended to just get your feet wet. And so let me back up here. Oh, we got one more thing we got to do. We're talking about extensions. Okay, and here we have extensions, and I'll show you where those are at. And right now those are not part of this course, but that may be something you can do if you want to do it for your end of semester project. And I'll show you really quickly where to find those. Okay, you have extension down here. You come up with this choice. and it's thinking about it. Okay, we're on the device. We want to do one for the mBot, so we want to do the device. And one of the cool ones we have is the upload mode broadcast, and that's one that you should be able to have the mBot communicate with the sprites. You notice that I was having problems getting information from the mBot to show up on the screen. Well, this is supposed to help you do that. And what you would do is you would just add it. Then down here you have these new commands, and I really haven't worked with these commands. If you decide to do this for your project, maybe you can show me. And we finally come to the end of this series. I hope this helps.